Good morning. I'm Rob, and what was I thinking? Boy, good morning. Today I'm going to read from two authors, not at the same time, but so one is Hafez, who's one of my favorite authors, and the other one, well, I go to a lot of used bookstores in town, and I found this book, and I thought, this author has never been read here, and I don't know why. And I'm going to fix that. So the book I bought was The Complete Half-Wit and Wisdom of Alfred E. Neuman. So if you know Alfred E. Neuman, he's the mascot, spokesman, and very satirical and sarcastic Mad Magazine guy. It was my favorite reading matter growing up, which explains a lot. So here's a few bon mots from Alfred E. Neuman. It's a good idea to keep your words soft and sweet, because you never know when you'll have to eat them. It's better to sleep on something you plan to do than to be kept awake by something you've done. When it comes to personal conduct, always set the bar high. It makes it much easier to sneak underneath. There is more poetry in the simple song of a bird than in any 10 symphonies, except all the poetry tends to be about worms. And finally, if at first you don't succeed, you're about normal. Now I'm going to try and save face by reading from Hafez. Actually, I was surprised to realize that Alfred E. Neuman and Hafez have a couple things in common. Stay with me here. All satirists, they're both satirists, both found humor in society's religious doctrines. Some of their work is political satire. Much of their writings were targeted at the contemporary political leaders. Hafez revels in spiritual joy and bliss, and Alfred E. Neuman's most famous saying is, "What, me worry?" It's a stretch, I'll grant you. Anyway, now to Hafez. This poem is called It Felt Love. How did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. And finally, Someone Untied Your Camel by Hafez. Incidentally, Hafez sometimes refers to himself in his poetry, and he often refers to God as the Beloved. Someone untied your camel. I cannot sit still with my countrymen in chains. I cannot act mute, hearing the world's loneliness crying near the Beloved's heart. My love for God is such that I could dance with him without you, but I would rather have you there. Is your caravan lost? It is, if you no longer weep from gratitude or happiness, or weep from being cut deep with the awareness of the extraordinary beauty that emanates from the most simple act and common object. My dear, is your caravan lost? It is, if you can no longer be kind to yourself and loving to those who must live with the sometimes difficult task of loving you. At least come to know that someone untied your camel last night. For I hear its gentle voice calling for God in the desert. At least come to know that Hafez will always hold a lantern with the galaxies blooming inside, and that I will always guide your soul back to the divine warmth and exhilaration of our Beloved's tent. Thank you.